Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. So, this has been an interesting week. So, I consult with a lot of different people on a lot of different things, a lot of different topics, because I'm just looking at your energy. I was consulting this morning with someone about their business, about their love life. Yesterday was business, body, a long-term illness somebody was experiencing, condition that was being, medicated and managed by medication. We really looked into all of that. My background is in holistic health, which brought me to the realms of vibrational medicine, which brought me to the realms of the human and what we hold in this field of energy. So it brought me to the study of bioenergetics. And so when I'm reading someone's energy, I'm literally feeling into where their energy, where their torus field is blocked somehow. But I want to share this because we're in the beginning of the year and everyone has their goals and all these things, and it's great, it's wonderful. I was posting this morning, if you saw my stories this morning, about insecurities. An insecurity. So when we talk about a goal, it means we perceive ourselves as in one place and then we desire to be in another place. Okay, that's a goal. It's a perception, and usually in there somewhere there's a gap between here and there. And the thing that tires people out a lot is the idea that now there's more work to do, right? I have to go to the gym and go on a diet and do all these things. Or I have to do this. All the things that we've been doing all the time that we're exhausted by because we don't need more work. Like we're past the realm, we're past the time of working really hard, especially when you work really hard and you don't get to where you want to go. Like the last thing you want to do is like run out to the gym again, right? Though it might feel good to your ego, a little dopamine hit to know that you're doing something. Ultimately, we just want to close the gap between here and there. And I was talking to a client this morning about, I forget what we were even talking about, what the session was about. But this came through and I want to share it because I think it's going to be beneficial to everyone when you're trying to close the gap between where you are and where you want to go. There is no gap to close. There is a pattern to be dissolved, and there is you that needs to be surrendered to. Because we're like, I want to get to where I want to go because my ideal self is like this and it looks like this and it's out there somewhere. Well, that's impossible. It's impossible because you're right here. You can't possibly be anywhere else. So I want you to let go of the idea that there's more work to do on yourself, and just maybe there's just something that needs to be surrendered into, because everything that you are, all your potential is right here. It's not out there after you do all the things. It never was. That's why no one ever found themselves out there, right? It's already here. It's right where you're sitting. So if that's the case, then our execution is going to be a little bit different in how we work with ourselves, right? So if we come back to this idea that there's no more work to be done, there's no more healing to be done, no more work to be done, because everyone is just fucking tired of that entire idea, right? What if it's just us that we need to surrender to? Meaning, what does that mean? Because I remember people used to say that to me, and I'd get so irritated because I'd be like, what does that mean? Does that mean I surrender and do nothing? No, this is what it means. Your energy is trying to rise up through the center of your body, out and around you, up through the center of your body, out and around you, right? It creates this beautiful torque field, the same torque field that the earth has. And so the only thing that stops that potentiality of your most expressed, most healthiest, most thriving, outgoing, confident, speak up for yourself, achieving, abundant version of you, the only thing that stops that from rising and expressing out into the world is contraction in the body. But you can't work hard to fix contraction. It doesn't work like that. You have to relax contraction. You have to surrender the contraction because it's you that's actually contracting yourself. It's a thought that you're having that's contracting every time you move into the idea of money, of your body, of health, of going out into the world, of changing, of speaking up for yourself, of having more. Everything that we would consider your edge, everything the things you've never had before, maybe that you're working towards, that career, that level of freedom in your body is coming from, it's being stopped by a contraction. So if our job is only to move our awareness into the contraction and release the contraction and then welcome the rise of our energy up to our next level, which is just another rising that energy up past the contraction, that's your next level, so to speak, then there's really no work to be done. You see, it's a walking meditation of, where do I feel contraction in my body? Can I surrender that? And can I surrender to myself? Because the version of you that you're trying to get to, that you maybe are visualizing and seeing and all the things, what you are, if you were to just surrender to yourself and stop trying to put yourself into a box, because we are always doing that. Even our vision for ourselves is in a box. It's like, oh, I want to be like this person. I want to have what they have. I want that body, and it's this, and this, and this, and this, right? There's nothing organic about that. It's very much controlled by the mind. In the mind, you're just going to burn yourself out. Who here has been burnt out by their own thinking? Me. Right? Because we're trying to manage this fire hose of energy with this little tiny thing, and it wasn't meant, this was not designed to do that, and it can't. You will literally burn the ATP, the minerals, out of your brain, and you'll get brain burn, right? And then your brain swells, and then you're confused, and you get chronic fatigue, and you can't think, and you have foggy thinking, and all the symptoms that all the people have all around the world, right? Because if you were to surrender to what you really are, it would just blow your mind. It would blow your vision of yourself out of the water. So let me propose this to you. If this year you let it be really easy, if you decided there's nothing left to heal, there's no more work to be done, and this is just a matter of me of surrendering insecurities, right? Because an insecurity means we have judged what we are and we've locked our energy down. And I see this a lot when I'm working with women with their bodies, with their appearance, with their beauty. We have insecurities, which really screws things up when it comes to putting ourselves out in the world, enjoying intimate relationships, wearing clothes that feel good to you, feeling free and feeling vibrant. We have these insecurities, which are grips in our energy field. And what if our only job was to just soften all that and then welcome the rise of energy and then let it inform us of what to do with it. Let it be in our body, because this is a thing that I see people do. They do maybe this somatic healing and they soften, they find where they feel the grip in their body and they soften, but they don't actually welcome the energy all the way up. So what does that leave us with? It leaves us with an open space, and then we don't know what to do with it because we can't feel ourselves as that new person. What feeling yourself as a new person is, it means your energy has only come up this high your entire life, and now you removed the interference, and now it's here, and you're like, whoa, this is a new point of view. Right? Your eyes are at a different space on the horizon. You see things differently. You feel yourself differently. That's what growth is. Growth is literally this rise of energy. It's all this internal thing. 99% of it is an internal thing. So what if that's all that you had to do this year? Was soften where you feel contraction when you think about the thing that you're thinking about. Healing, making more money, starting a new life, whatever it is, expressing yourself, feeling where you feel the contraction in your body, and then see if you can soften it. And then see if you can catch the spinning thoughts that are happening as you soften it. The yeah buts, but they're gonna hate me, but everything's gonna fall apart, but I'm gonna lose everything. My mother will hate me, my father will hate me, I'll lose everything, I'm gonna look stupid. Whatever it is that's spinning in there that made you grip the first time. And then you welcomed all that you are up into that space and just allowed it to be there and just walked around your house with it and just let it be there and just breathed and just allowed your nervous system to calibrate to this new version of you, which is who you really are. It's something you never could have made up. It's something you never could have envisioned. It just is the fullest expression of you, right? And growth is then finding the next thing. Not that you have to go digging. You don't have to go digging. It's just if you're looking to expand yourself, this is the process that I'm using with clients because it's easy. Healing should not have to be hard work. It shouldn't. Because who the hell wants to do that? It was never meant to be hard. It was supposed to be this effortless kind of flow, right? Flow, 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 flow. I've done it the hard way. I did the hard way for 10 years because I didn't know better. Who knew? But now I know because I read people's energy all the time and can push them into their path of alignment. So when I'm looking at clients' energy, I'm looking at where they're not aligned, they're bumping up against their own inner resistance and guiding them into their path of least resistance so that they can effortlessly grow and expand. And I was talking about this morning with bodies because I was lying in bed at, 4 o'clock this morning. That's when my little brain is like, I was thinking about insecurities with our bodies and with our appearance. And this is mostly for women, not just for women, but mostly I see it happen for women, where we will try so hard to fix ourselves and to change ourselves to the point now, like, I think people are tired of the entire idea of January 1st, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to lose all these weight and I'm going to get in the best shape of my life and blah, blah, blah. Like, people are exhausted at the thought of it because their energy is like, we've done this so many times and we're still going to bump up against this thing that you haven't fucking let go of yet. You can try really hard to do all the things. Believe me, I was 105 pounds once. I could have been a model. And I didn't want anyone to look at me. I was still horribly insecure. So what if we move the insecurities out of the body first? Move that junk out of the way first, and then all of a sudden you feel the way that you thought you were going to feel after you did all the things. You feel that way now. Surprise, it's Christmas. You get to feel that way now. You didn't even have to do all the hard work because then what's going to happen is you're going to have new self-care habits. You're going to see yourself differently. You're going to take care of yourself differently, right? We will have self-care habits that match the level of our self-perception, meaning where our energy is at, because wherever our energy is in our body is how we're perceiving ourselves. Financially, our value, our body, and our self-care will match that. Okay, so as we move the blocks out of the way, so to speak, and surrender, let our energy come up, we're naturally going to start to see ourselves as someone of more value, because that is your innate, your set point is value. Like, you were created to be somebody of value. You were born with value. You were born with high value. And nothing has changed other than your perception of yourself. So when that set point can come back up to where it's supposed to be, you're naturally going to have better habits. You're naturally not going to do things that you did before, and naturally you're going to start doing things that you wouldn't do before, or that you struggled to do before, or that you sabotaged yourself in, or that you procrastinated about. It's just naturally going to happen. Right? You can have the most beautiful vision for your body this year. Beautiful. One that you never even dreamt was possible. And it's all possible. But it's possible much easier than you thought it was, because as we allow that, we'll say, a cork to float, so to speak, I love that term, as we allow that energy to rise by moving out the interference, which are the insecurities, our self-care habits are going to come up and 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 up. And you naturally will become that person. You will naturally become that person. That's a lot easier than trying to act as if act as that person. What would she do? What would she say? How would she take care of herself, right? That's exhausting. And the thing it works. It totally works. Neville Goddard, talked about that a lot. And it totally works. But the problem with it is that it takes so much effort and it takes us out of the present moment, which is something I never aligned with. I didn't like that a lot of the manifestation practices took us out of the present moment, because it's like we're always chasing the next thing. We're always chasing this other identity. And then where's the present moment? Where's the joy? Where's like the relaxing into what is? Where is the magic? Because the magic, the divine, the miraculous is in the present moment. We're gonna miss all that because we're trying to create something man-made, so to speak. And so if you vibe with a more organic way of doing things, so that you can enjoy the moment, so every moment gets to like feel good and yummy and delicious, and you're not missing out on your life because you're chasing. And this is the method. I call it the method. I just called it that right now. I don't really have a name for it. But if you saw my stories this morning, and I was talking about the insecurities of the body, and again, this can be around our appearance, because I was insecure about my appearance my entire life. I've had all the things done, I've had all the things, whatever, had them done, and still felt insecure. And I couldn't relax. I didn't want to get into relationships. I was just never comfortable with myself, and that did not create a very good quality of life. I was comfortable by myself, right? Which is fine. I still like to be by myself, but it didn't create a quality of life. So I feel that when we get rid of our insecurities, we're already in the green. Like, we're already in the green when we do that. And then everything else is a bonus. The way we treat ourselves is a bonus. The things we allow ourselves to do is a bonus. The way our bodies transform is a bonus, because then we can honor what's already there and take care of what is already there, which is incredible beauty, which is an incredible body, an incredible everything. It's there, right? It's the energy of the insecurity that distorts what you see and how you experience yourself. But doing all the hard work with all of the things we do to lose weight or to make ourselves beautiful or to make ourselves better in any way, it can just feel like lipstick on a pig, because we're not dealing with the inner energy block, right? We need to let our energy actually rise to be a match for that version of us. And it's there. It's already, if you see it in someone, you're like, I want that. It's because you're recognizing a part of yourself that you shut down for whatever reason. You became insecure about expressing that part of yourself. So, last thing I want to tell you is that you're amazing. And the really last thing I want to tell you is that I have 3 spaces open inside my Personal Revolution container for January. And that is specifically for aesthetics, body stuff, beauty stuff, insecurities around this vessel. Okay. And then I have 4 spots open for your pick of a personal revolution. And because this can be around anything you want it to be. Right? We're going to pick one area and we're going to bring it through this revolution process to move the energy out of the way, the interference out of the way, the insecurity out of the way, so you can have what you want to have and be who you want to be. Like, that frustration of not, or that inner resistance frustration of not having what you want, is because your soul knows, like, this is who I am, but your ego is like, no, you can never be that. You will get in so much trouble. They'll hate you. They'll exile you. Right? And there's this conflict, and it takes so much of our energy to hold the rest of our energy down. And it's exhausting. So we want to move into the path of least resistance and just allow. Okay? So your choice of a personal revolution, I know the spots will probably go very quickly. So if you want one of those, let me know. DM me for details, investment, all the things. Let me know if you have any questions. Once in a great while, well, a couple times a month, I offer free 15-minute consults, intuitive consults. So catch my stories when you can. And when I offer that, I usually offer 5 during the week. Just sign up for one. Why not? You want to get a taste of the work. But if you're ready to just like go and just do the damn thing, then let's go. This is how I roll. Works every time. And that's it, guys. That's all I got for you. So happy Thursday. Again, if you have questions, don't be afraid to reach out. It gets to be yours too. Okay? Revolution gets to be yours too. Evolution. And if there's anyone you know would love to hear this, who needs to hear this, then you just tag them and send them along their way. And if you do tag someone, I will give you a special prize because I appreciate that. All my marketing, a lot of it is organic, so I depend on that. There's one more thing coming through for y'all who are listening or catching the replay. Let me just catch it here. Okay. I'm going to share with you this really weird thing that I do because I think if you're into energy, you'll appreciate this. So your brain is not usually very useful. It's mostly just a computer. It's just going to recreate the past because it's a data bank of the past. It can't create new things, right? But your brain is an incredible listener, and it's an incredible little like golden retriever. Like you tell it to go find something, it will find it, right? You ask it to find a problem, it's going to find a problem. You ask it to find a solution, it's also going to find a solution. So this is this thing that I do, that if you're like, I can't sign up for anything yet, but give me something. What I do before I go to bed, when I'm just like sinking in and getting to that place between like sleep and awake, what I do is I tell my brain to go in and answer this question for me. Give me the answer to this question in the form of a dream. A dream that I'll easily recognize as the problem and as the solution. I've been doing this for the past week. I used to do it once in a while, but I've been doing it for the past week really steadily. And I've had so many insights and had so much growth. Just because once I got the insight, then I could clear it out of my body and do my own process. But it's an incredible tool to use for yourself, to tell your brain what you would like it to do while you sleep. Okay. No, it can't go out raw banks or anything like that. But it can find answers to some of your questions. So start with that. Otherwise, if you're ready to just go and get the results and be done with it beginning of the year, while everyone else is like working all year on their goal, if you like just want to get it done in January, then let's go, let's ride. Message me to get in. And that's it, guys. I will see you all very soon. You're all brilliant. You're all beautiful. You're all fully capable, fully competent. Allow grace to come into your life is the other thing I will say to you in that act of surrender. Allow grace to come in. And grace is the thing that tells us when it's time to let go. When your hands are bloodied because you've been hanging on to something for way too long, an old identity of it's got to be hard, it's got to be painful, I have to fix everyone's problems, I can never have what I want, I have to be this for all these people. Grace is the thing that comes in if we listen and tells us when it's time to let the fuck go. And let yourself rise. Because you can't rise and be plugged into all the old stuff at the same time. It's impossible. You'll feel this like ripping apart of yourself. And that was the last thing I needed to say to you. All right, guys, that is it. Have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you all soon.